Our Canadian friend.
Ningetaka to clarify for our Kenyan Canadian friend that we are asking about how your week went.
Is that what you guys were talking about? I had no clue. I wouldn't say Canadian, but okay, sawa. We'll go with that.
Do you consider yourself Kenyan?
Yeah.
Kuna majamaa anapenda kuambiwa you're handsome kila saa. Kuna wengine wanataka kuambiwa washinda kitachiwa vile anasema into doing some other things.
Stop thinking of relationships as a give and give all. Think of just stop. I feel people like just stop. I can't even say it. Just stop.
I have never dated online ever. All the chills I've ever had are people I've interacted with. The 6 degrees of separation, something like that. I know someone who knows someone. So
I thought tuko pamoja. Kumbe you've been watching Friends. And
Kumbe is a bit more Barbie than you thought.
That's not bad.
We all know what that is. Physical touch is physical touch. Be intimate, be sexual with your partner, because it's a horrible thing to say, but listen, if you're not banging your person...
What's up, good people? Welcome back to another episode of the NairoBEERns podcast. Kama kawa na tulia na ufala na jitanga mwasi.
Ndio mimi hapa hivi ndio ufala.
Yaje mwasi.
Fiti.
And leo tuko privileged ku joined na
our Canadian friend.
Anaitwa Annalise.
Alikuwa pale episode nyingine akiwa na
True. Na I think wase wali
I wouldn't say Canadian, but okay, sawa.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
Do you consider yourself Kenyan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Through and through.
Do you want to tell us more about you?
No, I don't want to say more about it. That will invite questions I might not be able to answer. Let's just go with that.
Okay.
Kenyan through and through. Not as a Canadian. Canadians will look at me and they'll be like, this girl ain't Canadian.
So you're one of us.
Okay. So today we are privileged to be joined by this lovely lady called Annalise. And we are happy, Annalise. Welcome back to the pod.
Thank you.
So Mas, tuambie
wiki yangu ilikuwa mbaya, kulikuwa na shughuli kama kawaida. Nilikishow ile story nyingine ya sitasema hapa bado ni iko kwa infancy, but inaendelea fiti hiyo. So hiyo ndio mimi keep occupied wiki yote tu yani. So imekuwa ikienda fiti. Yako imekuwaje?
Yangu imekuwa poa, but ningetaka to clarify for our Kenyan Canadian friend that we are asking about how your week went.
Is that what you guys were talking about? I had no clue.
Okay.
Mine was easy. I had a great discovery. I learned that for all of you guys that love my wife and kids, I learned that
what's that? Is that a show or movie?
Only one of the best iconic. Okay, if you know TV shows, you know black TV shows don't really make it. My Wife and Kids is one of the shows that made it proper. It was a proper comedy show. And it's available on YouTube, probably illegally. So
no, if it's on YouTube, it's not illegal.
I don't know. But you can watch full episodes if you didn't grow up watching it. I highly recommend go on to YouTube and watch My Wife and Kids, because that's what I've been on the past week.
So you did.
I'm sorry, it's by the Wayans Bros, and you know their comedy is A1. So go for it, man. Proper comedy. Proper comedy.
Okay.
Did you grow up watching My Wife and Kids?
I did not grow up watching it, but I watched it when I was in high school. So nilienda kwa movie shop. Yeah. I didn't catch it on TV. So nilienda kwa movie shop because nilikuwa naona ile on and off. Nilikuja kwa TV kibahati. So nilikuwa na idea hiyo show, nikanunua DVD kwa movie shop. The entire, I think it is 6 seasons. Yeah, so me watching Kiwa High School.
So growing up, what did you used to watch? Because
Vioja Mahakamani,
us growing up,
yeah.
True. Us growing up, we used to watch Vioja Mahakamani, we used to watch wrestling, Vitimbi.
Yeah.
So my wife and kids was something
No,
that
it was there. I grew up watching wrestling. I grew up watching Good Times, all those shows.
You
But
grew
I
up watching Good Times on reruns.
I don't. It should be on STV. Remember STV?
Yeah, reruns.
you remember STV?
Yeah, TV Africa. I remember that STV thing.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if it was a rerun or not. It was what was on TV. So I used to watch it. So I don't know if it was a rerun. Maybe it was. Maybe it wasn't.
It's a 70s show or something like that.
Okay, so then clearly it was a rerun. But I mean, yeah, I grew up watching it. I loved it. I loved that skinny guy.
JJ.
What was his name? That clown. That was the best guy. That was the star of the show.
They used to have those shows back in KTN. It was called KTN Classic. So there's different strokes, and there was 2 to 7. Yeah, so they're on Sunday. Yeah, so
it's a good thing that mnani educate kwa hizi stuff, cause me, I didn't watch these things until now. By the way, I don't know these things exist, and I'm surprised you know about.
Why are you surprised?
These shows. Cause
Why are you surprised?
I don't know. Cause
It's calling you up, bro.
all this time na sijaisikia you talking about these shows. So I thought tuko pamoja. Kumbe you've been watching Friends and
Kumbe is a bit more Barbie than you thought.
That's not Barbie. It's on the ghetto.
That's not what he means, but okay.
No, but you know those black people when they're struggling, like Good Times. Good Times ni about the struggle that black families inapitia. That family.
What was French Prince? That wasn't about black
same.
people struggling. It was about the black people that made it and lived a better life.
But Will Smith was from.
Yes, and it was about him fitting into a world of luxury. It wasn't about him struggling. It was about a struggle guy trying to understand what luxury is. It's not a life of luxury. And didn't he grow up to live a life of luxury?
Yes, he did.
He did. Yeah. He fell into that life sweet.
So you've been watching.
But you've never watched. You're telling me you've never watched Good Times. You're telling me you've never watched these shows.
No, I've never watched these shows.
These are classic. These are classics that you've never watched.
No. I've never watched these classic shows.
I just accept.
Okay, go on to YouTube.
For me,
you should watch them. They're very good. And considering how unrecognized black comedy is in the film industry, go watch those shows, because these are shows that perfected it.
Because they are blacks, or should they
not
be
because they're
watching them
blacks? That sounds weird. But if you're looking at it from a very critical point of view, looking at the film industry and asking why aren't you seeing more black people in the film industry, go to these shows, because these were people who pioneered black actors. So a lot of the black actors you see doing action comedy to this day didn't just start out of nowhere. They started out of shows like Good Times, Family Matters, everything. These are people who started way back, but they were not allowed the recognition to make it into Hollywood. They've only just made it into Hollywood because now Hollywood is saying, okay, yes, let's invite black people in. But these are people who have been acting way back, and they've been producing great comedy. Great comedy. It's never been recognized, only in countries like here in Kenya where we were receiving these things. But you go to America and you ask someone what's Good Times, they probably don't know. We know what Good Times is. Okay, and other than you don't know. But a majority of Kenyans know what Good Times is. They know about Family Matters. They know about all these shows that promoted black comedy and promoted black creativity. I think for that reason, you might not have to like it. It's probably very old, and if you've grown up in a certain era, you're not gonna like old productions.
I grew up in that area.
No, I know you did, but for our viewers that are a bit younger and probably didn't grow up in the era of Good Times and probably won't like old productions, watch it not because you're gonna see some pixels and all that stuff. Watch it because you look at your celebrities today and you ask yourself, how did they come into power? How did they become a celebrity? They started off very, very small.
So have you been doing a rerun of these things?
Yeah, I watch these shows on reruns all the times.
So that's what you've been doing the past week?
This is what I've been doing, right? Yeah. I've been doing the past month.
Okay.
I'm rewatching black comedies. I love them. And it's a shame they haven't made it to mainstream media to this day. Netflix is just starting to bring it back. They brought Girlfriends, they brought Moesha, but they haven't really brought, because Moesha is brandy, so they brought a celebrity. Girlfriends has big actresses, so that's why they brought it in.
It's a good thing you mentioned.
But bring in TV shows. I hope it's gonna bring in TV shows that doesn't necessarily have big actors, but it was a great show. My Wife and Kids should be on Netflix. That's my opinion. It's a great
not
show.
On Netflix.
No, it's on YouTube.
Okay. For me, my week has been okay. I think I don't have anything to report. It's just been the normal stuff. Hustle, day-to-day struggles.
Wewe jamaa wako wa gari unapatana naye tena. Nataka kujua mkienda shughuli zako kama mshapatana naye tena.
So for me, my week has been chilled.
Nice.
Just okay. Just a normal week.
Okay. NairoBEERN podcast usemanga si umetapa kila siku kuongea vitu tumeona, vitu tumesikia, vitu tumesoma na vitu zimetubamba. So kish kuna tulikuwa ananiambia ulicheki mahali hivi kwa taku.
So by the way, I've been watching just for us to get content and for us to know what people are doing and how people are generating their stuff, what they want to talk about.
Okay.
For us to grow our stuff.
Yeah.
So I've been watching this thing called I can't remember the name. I think it's called Black Love. So there's something interesting. Niliona. I thought that's the reason we invited Annalise to talk about this thing. Because as single men, I don't know about you, Mas. As a single man, we might be talking about this thing, and ni kujichocha too, you see? But I just want to put it out there, to discuss tujue kama, is this thing real? Does this thing exist? This is the love language.
Okay. Hey. Okay.
I don't know. Because I read about it. I heard about it. Then I went and read about it. Then I questioned myself. What's my love language?
Okay. What's love language?
I don't know. Love language me. It's what attracts you. What makes you. How do you want to be loved?
Okay.
Like what excites you from your like nini exciting your partner will do to make you more attracted to her
and
or
more interested and more plugged in. Okay.
So kuna 5 love languages.
Okay.
I'm not sure kama mnajua.
I thought French.
Story.
Okay.
Can I explain further on what you've said?
Okay.
The love languages is not necessarily just that. You did a great job of explaining it.
Thank you.
But it's also like, for example, if you're in a relationship, you do 2 different tests. If you're single, you do 1 test. If you're single, you go and do another test.
In relationships, and I've never done this test.
Listen. You go on to the love language test. You have to go to the
website.
The website. The owners of this idea.
Okay. Do you have to go to
if you want a legit answer, you go to the legit people, the legit scientists, right?
Okay.
So there's 2 options. You go either as a single person and you answer your love language to understand how you are as a single person. So if you say you're single, it gives you a series of questions as a single person. And what it does is, as a single person, it will tell you how you are as a single man or woman interacting in the world. What are your likes, dislikes as a single person? But if you're in a relationship, you pick the relationship option. And then it asks you questions based on you being in a relationship. What do you look for in a relationship? What are you unhappy with in a relationship? So it's very catered to whether you're single or in a relationship. And that's how it formulates your questions. And that's how it picks your love language. Your love language is basically how you feel as an individual and how you communicate your idea of love to your loved person and back, and how you expect to be loved. That's what your love language is. So it's, if I was dating you, Kiru, it's about me saying my love language is communication. So I want you to constantly talk to me, because that's what communication is. I want you to tell me what your life is. I just want communication. Versus you might say your love language is gifts. So you're either showering me with gifts or expecting me to shower you with gifts. So the love language is very good to help you understand the kind of person you want to be dating or in a relationship
and
with.
Since you are good in
because I've done
this thing,
actually.
could you just inform our audience of what are these love languages, how many they are, or take us through?
Okay, I don't know how many there are. I think there are about five.
There are five.
I know one is words of affirmation.
True.
Which is basically things like someone telling you, I love you, you're beautiful, you're this, you're that. Words of affirmation, right? Another one is gifts. Someone that showers you with gifts. So they're constantly buying you things to make you feel good. One of the third ones, quality time. Yes. So someone that just spends time with you. You go out, you're on a ride, you're doing something that's quality time, right? You're spending quality time with someone. That's quality time. That's a love. That's a form of love.
Acts of service.
Oh, okay. You're running this shit.
Because
I don't know them.
Even me, I don't know them. I just wrote them down. I have them in my.
What's the last one?
Just take the compliment.
Acts of service.
This is like cooking for her when
it's a bit similar to the other one.
So let me just
acts of service. Yeah, you do something for someone. So hey, you've woken up, let me make you breakfast, let me do this. For a lot of people, that's an affirmation of love. Someone that's taken the time to do something for their loved one. Waking up, and then you have your loved one there like, hey, and you've had a hard day, let me do this for you, baby girl. Let me do something for you. I'm assuming that's what it means. I don't know what the fifth one is.
The last one was physical touch.
We know what that is. We all know what that is. Physical touch is physical touch. Be intimate, be sexual with your partner, because it's a horrible thing to say, but listen, if you're not banging your person, no.
Celibacy.
Celibacy is not a relationship thing. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. I think if you're with someone, touch your person. Touch them.
Okay. So, this topic was interesting to me because I felt like, personally, I've never done this test that you're talking about. I've been in a couple of relationships. They haven't worked, but I've tried. But I have never done this test that you're talking about. So I wouldn't know, or I wouldn't say that this is my love language. I'd say I like them all. Like, I'd appreciate everything. So I thought I might bring it up and ask Mas, what do you feel? Do you have like a love language, or have you ever done this test that Annalise is talking about?
Hapana. I've never done that test. For the simple reason that for a very long time Sikona didn't exist. I came to know about this thing fairly recently. Number two, it's more about personality. Do you enjoy just spending time with people? Are you an introvert? So I don't think I have a love language. I want to be with that person, but I also want that person to leave me alone. I don't know if that makes sense. Too much of her, it will bore. So I want to be interested. So I want to let's say in a 24-hour cycle, if I'm able to spend 5 hours with her, imentosha.
What if we box you in from the 5 things to we've read? Do you feel like you identify with any of them? Like, Sema, I like more, this more than this, or I'd appreciate he kushinda he, like physical touch.
If you were with someone, what's the quality you want the most out of that person? That's basically what the love language
quality
is.
Time. Because that means she can sit there, I can sit here, you don't even have to talk too much. Just spending time together.
That's probably not what quality time is, but okay.
No, quality time doesn't mean talking.
It could mean, you're right. You can mean whatever you guys are comfortable with, right?
So
as long as you guys feel talking, you're spending time.
I can give her quality time over the phone. I mean, I just want distance. Okay, so the long and short of it is, I want you around, but only
not
for,
so much.
If you crowd me, manzenta bweka haraka.
Women.
It's you, ama una feel like that's what men want.
Let me not speak for men.
If you're generalizing,
no, let me not speak for
that's
men.
you personally, you want
them
personally to be somewhere.
You know, my upbringing, my environment, my interactions, now I say my experiences, they may influence how I interact with the opposite sex and what I consider to be love, what I consider to be all those things. So personally, mimi ningetaka that type of relationship. But for some other guys, kuna majamaa wanapenda kuambiwa you're handsome kila saa. Wengine wanataka kuambiwa washinda wakitachiwa bila nani anasema into doing some other things. Others want gifts. So I think in a range from person to person. But ukiniuliza mimi kivyangu, mimi nataka, I think I'd be more comfortable with quality time because kuna a variety of definitions ama a variety of ways of achieving your quality time. Yako ni gani kwanza Kish before ni interrogative sana?
Because the reason you bring his stuff up because I find myself in a limbo, yani.
Okay.
Sijui, I can't pick one because
have you done the test? Have you gone online?
I've never done the test.
No, so do the test.
Yes,
do the test.
In all of these things.
No. Stop copying out. You guys told me. You guys pushed me to an answer.
Kish, what I'm saying is you need to do the test because yes, if you see it as an option list, you're gonna say, you want all of them, right? Because everyone wants quality time, everyone wants words of, everyone wants that. The point of this test was to help people interact with other people. So for example, if I'm in a relationship and I'm always fighting with my guy, always we're always beefing, the point of this test was to show that people have different understandings of what love is, and therefore they have different expectations, and those expectations will spill over into the relationship, what they want, what they don't want, right? So the point of this love language test, and you have to do the test, don't just read the things and say, I'm a words of affirmation. No, do the test because the scientists that went and did this test and said you have to do the test based on whatever science they brought was to show you what you may think is what you want. It might not necessarily be true, right? So basically asked you a series of questions. Do you like when a guy brings you flowers? Okay, I'm giving you answers because based on what I experienced, right? Do you like when a guy gives you flowers, or do you like when a guy sits and plays PS with you? You know what I mean?
Could you help us by telling us your love language?
Before you get there, Kish,
explain.
You have to answer that question. You're not running away from it.
I'm not running away from it.
You pushed me to a corner.
True.
And you told me to pick one. But so based on my own personality,
you didn't let me finish. This is what I was going to say.
Okay.
As Annalise is trying to put it,
pick one.
I'll pick one eventually. But let me just explain to you.
Okay.
The situation of the matter, or the matter of the situation.
Okay.
This is how it is. I read about this thing. I've known about this thing.
Okay.
And I've been struggling to pick to identify my love language. Because I enjoy everything that's on the list. I enjoy words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, physical touch. I enjoy all of these things.
Yeah.
I like them.
Pick one.
Mwas.
Okay, yeah. What do you
Yeah,
think
just
is your
one-
thing? What do you think is your thing?
You're beating around the bush. That's okay. You can love them all.
What do you think is your
Which one
preferred
is the-
thing?
If you could only have one, which one would it be? That's the most important thing right now.
I don't. I'd say gifts.
Okay, why?
Okay.
I don't know, cause gifts is not cause of love or something. Cause growing up, I don't get so much gifts.
Okay.
I don't get so much gifts. So if somebody gifts me anything, I'm usually like,
You appreciate some.
I'm
You
really
feel it,
appreciative,
yeah.
and I'm really like, these people think of me. These people care about me. So I feel like I'm loved in that
Makes sense.
case. But I don't know if is this my love language. If say like I have a partner,
Do the test.
I'll do the test. But right now I'm just saying, if my partner gives me gifts,
So you lean more towards
is this
the
like
gift thing?
what will? No, I enjoy gifts even from you, Moas. You are not my partner, but
Why not?
I'll enjoy gifts from you.
Gift him.
I'll really
Come on.
think high of you.
Show your
because-
boy some love. Some
I
love.
ain't doing none of that.
Show him the good stuff.
so that's me. I enjoy gifts.
Yeah, okay. So at least because of the three of us here, you're the only one who has taken that test. So could you divulge the results?
And explain to us why you lean to.
I did it a few times. I was in a relationship at the time. I received like a balance of results, whatever you want to call it. I had touch, physical touch. I want you to touch me. And then I also had quality time. So you spending time with me, and quality time didn't necessarily mean actually we go and do something together. It meant, for example, let's say I'm going to work, and then you say, you know what, let me drop you to work. Let's spend that time
On the drive, yeah.
on the drive going to work. The idea of let me take time out of my day to take you where you need to go. That's what it was. So why I'm encouraging you to do the test and not just make an assumption is because it takes into consideration what you expect out of a relationship, what you expect out of yourself and your partner, or if you're single, what you expect out of your potential partners. So yeah, mine was physical touch and quality time.
Are you allowed to have two, or you can?
Well,
'cause
my
me, I had
scores were
five.
okay. I didn't know, but my scores were equal. They score you get like a percentage or something.
So is it allowed? Let me
And-
just ask: is it allowed? Like you can? Because me, I had 5 initially.
I mean, it's not like you're doing the SATs, Kiru.
True,
Like
true.
it's alright. Like you can have. No one's gonna say,
so
oh,
it's okay.
Yeah,
it's okay
why
to
not?
Have two love
Why not?
languages.
No one's
It's
gonna
okay to have three.
But wait.
it's love. Yes, be
When you
you.
took
Be
that test-
free, my guy.
When you took the test, did you take that test one time and it gave you two results? I mean, you took that test twice and you got the two different results.
Great question. Can't answer because I can't remember.
It's weird that you remember everything else except that particular detail.
Yeah.
Because I think that
Can't
test is
answer
flawed.
it. Can't answer it.
I think
Can't
it's
answer it.
flawed.
Can't
because-
answer it.
No, it's okay,
I know,
it's
but
okay.
I just can't. Maybe I did. Maybe I did too. Maybe I did it twice. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. But I do remember taking a screenshot and having result 1 and having result 2, because what I do think they tell you, because they give it to you in, if I remember correctly, I did a while back. They give it to you as a percentage. So you have 40% quality time. You have 20% affirmation. So that takes us to 60. Then you have 10% touch. So it gives it to you as a percentage. So I think what it was, that was my two top percentages were equal.
Okay.
And that's how I knew what my top were, because they give it to you as a percentage. So you know, in terms of being in a relationship, you can rank what maybe you expect out of a relationship.
Okay, so
But I did mine again as being in a relationship. When you're single, if you do that test, it's a very different test. It tells you what to expect being, I guess, a single person. I did it when I was single. When I was in a relationship, so I had a very different test. I had a very different outcome.
So the question is, do you feel like in a relationship, does this thing matter, like this thing of
love language?
Do you have to dwell on it? Do you have to know your partner's love language to show, so as to show him or her love, or do you feel like these things are just things
They are arbitrary.
there to for people to enjoy them? Or do you think these things matter in a relationship to you? Let me start with Moss.
Hey, ni swali ni ngumu. Do they matter to me?
Like najua sijui bele nisi assume cause at least amesema hizi stuff zina work for single na relationship. So if you want to tell us if you're single or if you're in a relationship, answer in terms of if you get into a relationship, if you are in a relationship, do you feel like it's tough in a matter, like you need to pay attention to it, Buddha ishi maisha yako, you guys do whatever you want to do, whatever the love language, tutajulia mbele.
So nikiwa shule, one of the things you were taught is love is selfless. So unaweza kuwa mimi my love language is touch, but yake si touch, yake ni something else. So if I keep insisting on touch kila saa, it means I'm being selfish and I want her to address my language or whatever, kitu kama hiyo. So striking a balance between what you want and what msimina nataka, compromise ni very important kwa relationship, because ni sawa na kama pamoja kuform hiyo unit. So I believe yes, you have to be keen. Language you msee ama that's my language, but ina sound weird nikisema hivyo, but preference yao msee mwingine mtu anapenda na vitu unapenda. You either strike a balance, na kama iwezekani kabisa you both go your separate ways, but yes, there has to be compromise for that need to work. You understand?
For actually push it by the
okay,
because au kujibu kama you are
you're intentional.
Sawa. So nilikuwa nataka kujua because for the previous relationship ume have stuff may lead to break up ama stuff may lead to kuwa success. Ni unaweza attribute to love language that ulijua love language, then you knew this is the love language,
Okay, we can learn nayo
kama nani ukatilia manane the love language ama nini naweza sema, like Kenya naweza sema tuli break up, naweza sema boss you didn't get my love language, that's why
tuliachana,
it's no longer happening, ama that's why tuko na success cause you've identified my love language and we are good cause you know my love language.
So today have a conversation na any of my girlfriends history of love language. I mean, just jawai ini ile tu mchekidema amekubamba unabonga na yeye anaingia box, sasa tuendelee na mambo vile uko free sato, sasa tuende kwa boat pale Uhuru Park whatever, mbona kule chipo, yani iko tu ni hakuna discuss kitu yote, and whatever anafanya set na keep in mind that anapendanga hivi ama kitu kingine. So I will just do things that nafikiria a normal guy in a relationship would do. Now along the way maybe there are some things you meet ama ya meet, so tukaboyana ikasambaratika, but sijai have a conversation na any of them. Na but they it is solid because me not knowing ni kama nitakuwa na move kwa dark, so unasikia una bump into things, so sometimes unafanya kitu inakuwa ni a hit with her, sometimes unafanya kitu kingine kama huyu jamaa alikuwa anafikiria inafanya kitu kama hii, so siko sure, but you can never go wrong with gifts. You can never go wrong with physical touch. You can never go wrong with those two.
I feel you can never go wrong with all the five.
No, I'm just saying because for some of us
I can disagree. I can disagree with that idea.
With touch.
Not so much with touch. I can disagree with the gifts idea. I can feel like, let's say for example I'm in a relationship, and I'm trying to get to know my partner a bit better, trying to be more intimate with him, trying to do a lot of things. And if he's not interested, and his idea of showing me love is he never spends time with me, but his idea is, I'll buy you a bracelet today because I haven't spent the weekend with you. Spending the weekend with the boys, I bought you a bracelet. Next weekend, I bought you flowers. For me, yeah, you're buying me gifts, you're buying me things I like, but I'm not in a relationship for that. Okay, yes, there are some women that do that. But that's not why I'm in a relationship with you. So I think the idea of gifts, and that's why it was probably my lowest rating thing, is I think it's not a bad thing to give gifts. It's a great thing because it's a show of appreciation in a very special way. When you know someone and you can gift them something that speaks to who they are, that is a beautiful thing to give someone. So gifts is a great idea. It's a very great idea if you know how to do it right and if you're doing it right. But I think the problem that we face in today's society is, let's say someone does something wrong. Your girl doesn't come home. She went out with her girls. She never showed you any, and then she just spent the weekend out. Her resolution is, let me buy my boy a game. You know what I mean? So she's not making up. She's buying him out. And so my problem with gifts is there's a very fine line with showing your love and appreciation and buying them out as a cop-out. And I think that's where people fail a lot of the time. They use gifts, they use flowers, they use things as a show of appreciation, but they're using it because they fucked up. That's not what gifting is supposed to be. Gifting is supposed to be a show of appreciation, a show of acknowledgement of, I see who you are. I bought you this because I know you, and I know you of all people will appreciate this gift. That's what a gift is supposed to be. You give a gift because you don't want to be shouted at because you came home at 11. That's not a gift.
But it's the same thing.
That's a cop-out. And I think people forget that. I think people think gifting and gifting to get out of punishment are the same things. No, they're not.
It's the same thing for all these languages, love languages. Because you can say you're gifting for you to get out of some trouble that you put yourself into.
Good point.
I can also come up and say I'm doing the physical touch to get out
No.
I'm doing, what's the other one?
Affirmation.
You can tell people the same things. No, that's true. With all of the languages, I believe it can be taken advantage of. So I can go and say someone, hey baby girl, I love you, you're so beautiful, and you can give all those words of affirmation that she loves. You know, you're my girl, you're the stars, you're the world, blah 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 blah. Whatever Chris Brown lyrics you want to throw at her, you'll throw them out, right?
Who listens to Chris Brown nowadays and this?
I know some people. I know some people. But so yes, all of the love languages, they can be taken to the extreme. That's not the point of this love language test. The point of this love language test was because I guess scientists or researchers discovered people were struggling in life. They were meeting the wrong people, they were mismatches, and people weren't finding love the way maybe they should have. So it wasn't actually, this is you like words of affirmation, good, hit a guy that's gonna tell you baby girl, da 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 da. That wasn't the point. The point was for you as a personal person to recognize that maybe when you're in a relationship, when you're with someone, like, okay, for example, let's say it's me, and let's say it's physical touch, right? The point was, if I'm in a relationship with someone, it was for me to recognize as a personal human being to my boyfriend when and when not certain things were happening, and to talk to him and say, maybe I'm feeling this way. It wasn't to say, this is my life and this is what you need to provide for me. It was more of a way of communicating to your partner and if you were single, communicating maybe to your possible partner or to your possible, I don't know, shag buddy, what you wanted. It's not about a lifelong thing. Things will change, people will change, you will change, your love language will change over time. Right? When you're 19 years old, what you want out of a relationship might be physical touch. When you're 50 years old, it might be words of affirmation. You don't know. It's going to change. So it's not a static. It's not static. It's not a set thing, right? It's just the idea of the people that formed this was more about how you communicate with the person you're with, single or not. It was more about clarifying things so that you don't beef so much.
As we finish, do you feel like they matter, or do you feel like it's just
I think a lot of people, single or in couples, can do without it. It's okay. You live a very happy life.
You don't have to take the test.
You don't have to take the test. It's not a do all and die kind of thing. But I think for maybe people that are struggling as singles or as couples who have tried options and they're not coming to a conclusion, I think it's a good option to try, because maybe it's not an idea that they've understood. So no, I don't think it's vital, but I think it can help you. If you're looking for things in a relationship, or as a single person, you've tried everything, I think try this as an option. Don't make,
Is it a deal breaker?
It's an option.
Is it a deal breaker? If your love language is touch, and I know nothing about touch.
You're not getting the touch.
You're not getting the touch.
No,
but
that's
I'm
not
giving
the
you
point.
information. No, I'm just asking, is it a deal breaker for you?
Because and I don't think that's the point of this test. The test not to say, oh, you're touch and me I'm affirmation, so we can never be together. No. The point is to say, oh, you're touch and I'm affirmation, so sometimes when we clash, it's maybe because I expect some kind of love that you're giving, but so let's say you give love in terms of touch, and you're showing your love in terms of touch because you love me and you're trying to show that touch. So you're trying to show it through touch because that's how you believe to show love. And I believe to receive love, I should receive words. So what this test is doing is not to say it's a deal breaker if you're this, you're that. The point of this test is to show that there's a communication breakdown. So we're allowed to all have different forms of love languages. It's very rare that you're going to meet someone that you marry that's going to have the same love language as you. That is some Hollywood shit. That's not going to happen.
My question wasn't about the test.
Yeah.
My question was about you after the test. So now you know your love.
And that is what I'm saying.
Just a second. That your love language is touch. So now forget about the test. You walk around the world knowing, for me, touch is the thing. Now for me, mine is gifts. And I'm very poor when it comes to touch. And now we start dating. And you barely get the touch from me. But you get gifts. Like, is that like a deal breaker for you? Like, this guy doesn't understand.
So that's what I'm saying. The point of this test is to make you act aware of what you want out of yourself, right? So now I know as myself what I'm looking for when I date is touch. You know, when you start dating, this is what you want. You want
gifts.
You want gifts, right? So the idea is you don't go and look for people that always want touch, because that's the idea is, if I find you, I'm aware that I want touch, I'm aware you want gifts. So the idea is to create a bridge of communication and of understanding. So it's a way of understanding. I'm like, when you show me love with gifts, I might not have necessarily accepted it. I'm like, this guy's always buying me gifts, but he's not touching me. You know what I mean? Then I realized that's your way of showing me love. That's your way of telling me you care about me. So it's about understanding your partner. It's not about, this is what I want, it's a deal breaker. I don't think that at all. I think it's just it's a way of understanding who you are, understanding who you're dating, and coming to that person and saying, hey, listen, me, I like gifts, you like being told pretty girl. And then you come together and create some kind of partnership. That's what I think.
Okay. We hope that Annalise has explained everything and everybody has gotten
something from
it.
Yeah.
Another thing that I thought will be interesting for us to discuss with Annalise was this thing of online dating.
Okay.
Because nowadays in our society, people rarely meet. Because COVID happened like
2 years
ago.
Yeah.
People never met. People used to interact online, blah blah blah. Then, so there's this issue of dating apps, and people meeting on social media. I wanted to ask you, or Annalise, do you approve these things of social media, or what do you think about
online dating as
online
a whole?
dating?
Are you pro? Are you against? Are you somewhere in between?
Online dating includes, I think, because there are apps for online dating, specifically for online dating. But there are people who meet on
Social media.
Like Facebook, Twitter, IG, where then we can group them together with Tinder and all other.
It's online. You just made online.
We can use that.
Something. What do you feel about our generation, people having relationship from?
No, I have no issue with it. I think the better. I think we live in a world of technology. People, this is the thing, right? Especially for maybe our generation that grew up physically meeting people, we have a harder time.
When you say our generation, you're confusing us. I don't think
I'm not about to give out ages over
true,
here.
But when you say our generation, you're putting us together with you.
Okay, let me talk about my generation.
True.
I grew up in a generation where technology was just coming up, right? So I grew up learning how to talk to people outside of technology, outside of IMs, DMs, that kind of.
So
technology wasn't a way of communication for me.
You met people physically.
You met people physically, right? If you wanted to date someone, you had to meet them physically, or you had to talk to a friend, that kind of thing, right? But now technology has enabled us to connect to whoever we want. And I think that's a great thing. I actually think it's a great thing, because I think there's a lot of lonely people in this world, a lot of people who look for love within their circles, and because your circle is quite small, you just don't meet the person that's for you, and you never find someone, right? If my only space is you 3 people, you 2 people, and I'm only sitting with you guys, I will never find someone I'm interested in, right? Because I'm always sitting with you guys. So I understand having an app that puts me out
that's
there.
Heartbreaking, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, Kiro. But so I do believe it's a good thing, because it's given people, especially people who haven't had options because they have social issues, because they're just scared, because they've been heartbroken, they don't put themselves out there. I like that dating apps gives them a safe space to try and connect to people that they would never have ever connected before. I actually like the idea. I like that the fact that I can sit here in this space right now, take my phone and say, oh, I'm single, and I've chilled around people in this area. I'm just not dating. No one wants me. Then I put my profile online, I say what I like, and then someone else comes and contacts me like, yo, you like this, I love this too, and we connect, and you meet someone maybe from across the world that you would have never had the ability to do without technology. So technology has brought people closer in a way that we've never been able to do. That is the greatness with technology and globalization.
Have you ever been in an online dating app?
No.
Have you ever met somebody online?
So because I've been in a long-term relationship for a long time, I've not experienced that kind of life. I have watched people do it, and I think from what I've experienced, I think it's a good thing. I know that, okay, there are some negatives. Let's not lie. There are some negatives. You will meet some weird people, and you will meet some creeps, and you will meet some people that want to just use you for your money. There's a lot of horrible things that come with online dating, right? You don't know who's behind that photo. So there's problems. There's problems, and as I believe, as anyone that uses the internet, whether it's for dating, whether it's for Twitter, whether it's for Facebook, don't use the internet willy-nilly. Don't just go and no. Use it like a proper, be responsible. Don't just go and throw your information out there. Don't go and put photos out there and you don't know who's on the receiving end. I think in general, as human beings, when you go online, be responsible with your usage. So, no, I think the difference is when you're online, you're dating, you're trying to look for someone. And yes, even looking for someone, there are people who maybe want to take advantage of you. Oh, you're lonely, let me take some money. We know about Tinder swindler. So we know about people who take advantage of people who are looking for love, that kind of thing. I just think it's not a bad option. I think there are people who have tried every other option. They've tried going to a bar. They've tried going to their local church. They've tried asking their friends, and they're just not meeting people. But they want to date. Maybe try online, because maybe your algorithms will get you your perfect person. I don't believe it's the wrong answer, because I believe I have met people who met online through dating companies, and they're the best couples I met. So I'm not against it.
Mas, what do you think? Have you ever met somebody, or have you ever tried these apps, or what's your take about this?
So I have never dated online ever. All the chillers I've ever had are people I've interacted with. The 6 degrees of separation, something like that. I know someone who knows someone. So like not too long ago, I attended a wedding of my friend a couple of years ago. And in that wedding, so okay, let me put the stage. I was in campus with two of those people, the guy getting married and one friend of mine. These two worked in the same organization. Then there was a Chile who went there for judicial attachment, Fanya law. So when this guy was getting married, so this Chile was like, hey, tag along, kind of wedding. Now me, because it's my friend getting married, I also went there. So we met in a wedding of a friend. I believe in the old-fashioned way of meeting. We go somewhere, I see you, we talk. If the vibe is there, it's there. If it's not, let it go. Because what online dating has done, it has created this analysis paralysis. Whether you're a guy or a Chile, you think there are so many options out there, and there's always better. So best will be in front of you, but you're like, there's always better.
There's always another one.
So this guy earns 6 figures, he's 6 foot tall, whatever, he's everything I've ever wanted, but you know what, he only earns 300,000. There's another guy maybe somewhere earning 500,000 or whatever. So whereas it's an option that people can go to, I believe there's also some negatives that are also attached to it. But personally, if you ask me, I prefer the old-fashioned way of dating. You go somewhere, you see someone, you talk to them. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So maybe to answer your question, no, I have never met anyone online.
And you don't believe on online dating? Even after COVID happened, people used to do stuff online.
It's true, because of COVID, a lot of social events zilikuwa affected. So even weddings, funerals, like just keep the number small. And then a lot of things moved to technology. So I understand in that respect.
And not because of COVID alone, but pia technology imetuweka place that not everybody needs to attend church
in person
every Sunday. You see, I can just tune into my church and watch it online. So in terms of
my guy.
technology, in terms of COVID
and convenience pia.
yeah.
Kuna hiyo. And then nowadays people are very busy. People are living very busy lives. So
utatafuta mula.
Morning umenda job, you spend the whole day there. So the only people you're seeing are your colleagues. Unaenda home usiku, you're tired, you just rest, and the cycle goes on. So weekend, some people are just tired, they just want to decompress, do their own things in the house. So kuna hiyo pia, people are not getting out. So people may retreat kwa internet. I mean, I'll conclude my portion of that of this by saying to each his own. Unajua what works for you. Kuna wasemi najua personally walipatana kwa mtandao. They are together, everything is okay. Unajua whether I'm going to a wedding, church or whatever, the initial what meeting ndio tunajadili nayo.
Like you meet.
Yeah, so online is better because utongea na mse for some time, build a connection and then meet. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you've wasted maybe a month or two of your time, and then you just go back in and continue again. So
I disagree, but okay.
It is what it is.
What do you disagree?
I disagree with that thing of, let's say you've been talking to someone for a month. Maybe it doesn't translate into a relationship.
Yes.
I don't necessarily think that month was wasted.
Okay.
Because you talked to someone for a month, right? You met someone new, you expanded your circle. You interacting with this person, you probably, maybe through conversation, learned something you never did. Maybe she said, oh, I work for a neuroscience kind of company, this is what I do. So you start to learn different things, right? She said, oh, I do this, or I work with the brain, and she teaches you stuff. I don't necessarily think just because you didn't reach a level of relationship that you wasted your month. I think when you look back, you can say, hey, I met this person, I spent this month with someone, and look what I learned. Now I know about how the brain works. Now I know about XYZ. Why is that not something to be proud of? Why is that not something to say someone enriched your life? I think people look at relationships very black and white when we shouldn't. So relationships shouldn't have to be, oh, we started dating today, we ended today, and everything is within this space. No. That is not what a relationship is about. Growing someone. It's about enriching your life. And when you stop thinking about relationships as what someone can give you and what you can give someone else within the set period of time you dated, you will learn that your life is richer. Stop thinking of relationships as a give and give all. Think of, just stop. I feel people like, just stop. I can't even say it. Just stop. You can know someone, date someone, and nothing comes of it, but you might have made a vital connection. You might have met a guy you don't want to date, but then he works for a company that you want. Then you call them up 3 months later and be like, I'm looking for a job, and they get you the job you want. I think people think about relationships as one thing when we forget life is so much more. And we need to stop thinking in a box, because we live in a box, and it just hampers the way we live, and that's why we're just stuck in a box of unhappiness.
Let me ask you this, Annalise. You said you're talking to a guy, he teaches you about the brain, or you make a connection, and that's good, yeah? But this guy was looking for a girlfriend. He went into that looking for that. That was his purpose. He didn't get it for whatever reason. You, because he works for a big multinational company, you use him or his contacts to get that job. Who benefited from that interaction? You or him? It's just a simple yes or no, then we continue. Who benefited, him or you?
Let me ask you.
You should answer first, then ask.
Okay. So let's say I date this guy, right?
You don't. We are talking about you guys were talking online, right?
Yeah.
He went there with a singular purpose of I like this chill, I've been talking to her. I want her to be my girlfriend. You talk to him, maybe you're not feeling him at all. But he works for a big company, maybe they're hiring.
Let me make this clear. I'm not saying go and date someone because of their job profile.
It's an example.
I'm just saying if you happen to talk to someone, you learn. This is what I'm saying. You happen to learn from someone, because the only way you learn things other than reading is through who you talk to. So if you grow your circle you grow your knowledge. That is what I mean. So you do not expand your knowledge base by sitting with the same 3 people every day, all day. You will share the same ideas and you will never grow.
Okay.
You need to grow by reading books, by watching things, and by talking to other people and other people that don't share your opinion. That's how you challenge yourself. That's how you grow your knowledge. So when you meet someone, it might be that yes, you have an intention of dating, and yes, we all hope that that's where your relationship will go. But along the way, you will learn things from interacting with that person. If that person is a doctor, you'll learn about health. He'll tell you about exercise. Whatever the profession is, you'll pick up on it because that's what happens, right?
I think you're forgetting what Moas asked. What he asked was, you go to these things in your intentions. The main intention is to date these people. Yes, you might get insights on
life,
doctor, blah blah blah, get a job somewhere, but your main intentions are to date.
Okay.
But you can't go there. Yes, you might go there to date, then you get a job. Good for you. But this person who's gone there to date, looking for a love,
let me rephrase.
Maybe he doesn't want this doctor thing you're talking about. He doesn't want this idea that he doesn't want employment. He's good, or she's good, but he just wants to date.
He wants to date. Okay, I get that.
So that's the waste I'm talking about. So not everyone will win in this game of.
Oh yeah, then that's just the game. You're the only way you'll find someone you want is by putting yourself out there.
You took us round just to admit that.
I was trying to take us down a deeper level. I was trying to show you how you can grow. But I still do believe.
People, listen, she's trying to be very idealistic, reading books. My guy, if you go to a dating site and you're trying to chat up a Chile, and it ends up she doesn't want you, my guy, you've wasted a month of your time.
No.
Move on. Learn to cut your losses.
But that's what I'm saying. Let's say you've gone to a dating site, you've dated a girl for a month, it didn't get to where you wanted to be, and then you're kind of pissed off, like, I spent 1 month, and now you have to go back, start from square one on the dating app. What I'm saying is, look back at your 1 month with this girl that you spent texting or whatever it was, and then say, what went wrong? What did I do? What did she do that we disagreed on? So it's a learning curve, right? So you start to learn about what you want out of a relationship, what other women want, because the only way you will learn how to be in a relationship with someone is by doing it, right? So you'll go and you say, I'm on a dating app, and they ask you, what are you looking for? And you type your ideas of the idealistic girl, hot, and then you go and you date this idealistic girl, and she's nothing like what you want. And you start to pick up on qualities that you don't like and do like by dating the wrong person, right? You say, that's not what I wanted. That's what I want. And so when you go into round 2 of dating, now you change your qualities. I want someone that does this. I don't want someone that does that. So it's not a bad thing when you date someone and it doesn't work out. That's okay. I'm sorry. If you think that the first time you go on a date, you're going to fall in love, my God, you're watching too many Hollywood movies. No, please, no. You are not going to fall in love the first time you go on a goddamn date. You're probably going to go on a million horrible dates before you find the love of your life. No, the point of dating is to understand yourself and to understand other people. And the only way you understand yourself is by putting yourself out there and understanding what is wrong with you and what is wrong with the other person. So you go on multiple dates. Be like, you know what? I don't like a girl that's too into herself. I don't like a girl that does this. I don't like a girl that does that. I like a girl that does this. And that is how you will find your perfect person, by going on multiple dates, by understanding you and yourself, and also understanding yourself, because you'll understand that, when I do this, the girl doesn't like that. When I do this, the girl likes that. And that's how you will understand what dating is like. But please don't think you go on a date, you bring some flowers, you play some romantic music, and then think you're going to go get married. Please. Hollywood has cheated you. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen.
Okay, good people. I think tutamalizia hapo because Annalise has given us so much information that we need to sit back,
to digest,
relax, to digest, because ametudropia things about relationships, ametudropia things about language nini na any gwiji. The good thing is she's a friend of the pod, na she's a regular. To promise
all day every day
atakuwa na show up kutudropia easy wisdom ametu show leo. I think me mtamalizia hapo because easy stuff ni mingi sana
manze itabidi nifikirie
nitakaa chini digest moja kwa moja ndio nijue.
So Annalise, again thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure. Tuseme like, comment, share, subscribe tupate kwa social media engage na sisi hapo hivyo, and until next time tuseme NairoBEERns podcast, we talk as we can,
talk as you want to.
See ya.